Here I am again from Malta. I want in this video to talk more about driving in Malta, especially if you think about renting a car. I am now picking up the car. There are a few offices where you can pick up the car. It's on the right when you come out from the airport, if you pick it up from the airport. I just wanted to show you a couple of things. The first thing, how do people know that you have actually rented a car? The number of the plate here, you see on the third letter, there is a Z or there is a K. That means it's a rented car. The second thing, when you rent a car here, you should check it, double check it and triple check it, because it's easy, to have some scratch in the car, take it back, and if you don't check properly the car, you may have to pay later. So two things, do photos of every side of the car and do a video. Both photos and videos are marked with the time you have done it. So in case there is an issue later on, you can always show the photo, they can see the date and no problem at all. So these are the two most important tips, and let's get the car now. What about the licenses? Now you can drive with European license, no problem at all, and the good news is that here you're allowed to drive with any kind of license that you can read through. So you can rent a car, for example, with a license from Australia, from US, from UK, no problem with Brexit. The only time they don't accept a license is when they can't read the character. So if it is, for example, a Chinese characters license, then they don't accept it. And what about speed limits through the island? Now there are different signs, as you see here. This road, for example, is 60. Usually the max speed that you can have is 80 km/h, and it's on the main road. This is the main road, but we are approaching a roundabout, so that's why it's 60. And there is one main road usually that everybody takes, is the coastal road that goes from Valletta down to Gozo. Other streets are 50 km/h, the smallest streets are 30 km/h. Most of the streets into the old towns are 30 km/h. So there are different speed limits. Try to follow all of them, because they do check the speed limits, especially on the main roads. On the road, there are speed cameras here and there. Usually there is a signal saying that one is coming. But my suggestion here is to stay within the limit, because otherwise you may have a bad surprise when you return your car if you're renting it. If you rent a car, just be aware that there are roundabouts pretty much everywhere. So if you're used to drive on the right side, this may be a little issue. Just slow down on the first 2-3 roundabouts and you'll be fine. Now I want to show you also another roundabout that you see here on the back, and that's what is called roundabout, but it's just painted on the street. So pay attention to that as well, because you can't go straight and you have to give the space to the cars as you do in a normal roundabout. When you look for parking, look for the white lines. That means that you can park free of charge usually. But look also if there is a sign, because sometimes, even if it's white, it tells you if it's only 1 hour, so there is a limit on the time. You have to put the time you arrive. I don't think that if you go back to the car and you change the time, it will last another hour, because they take photos, so you really need to move your car from there. Now, we have also yellow lines here, and the yellow lines that you can see here are more for the unloading, like in this case, and it's not allowed to park, or for buses or for special parking. No way you should park there. Then there is a blue line, and for the blue lines you have to pay for the ticket, and you can park there. And then there is the green line as well, where you can't park. My experience with parking has been very, very good, and most of the times I could find white lines and no worries at all. Valletta is probably the most problematic place, because It's hard to find parking. You pay every time you go in and you go out from the city, and I don't suggest honestly driving into Valletta. How is it with the petrol station? So, well, sooner or later you have to go to put some petrol, isn't it? I think one of the easiest country in the world, because there is only one supplier of oil and petrol, so the price is fixed, doesn't matter where you go, and it's served, so you don't need to go actually there to put the petrol into the car. Very, very easy. So there is no need to look for the best price, there is no need to look for if it's served or it's not served. Just turn to any petrol and you will have the same kind of services. Now there are different kind of roads. There are main roads, especially the coastal road is quite wide, but there are plenty of small tiny roads, especially if you go to Gozo Island. That's where the roads tend to be smaller and smaller and smaller. So yes, you can drive through no problem, but try to make it very slowly, because the locals will drive quite fast actually. It's a bit of a fight who is gonna go first through the small and tiny road. One of the nice things about renting a car is that you can get to places otherwise hardly reachable by bus. And it's a case of a coral lagoon that we're gonna see right now. I'm gonna try to put also my drone up and see if I can get some footage. This is another great example of how useful is a car, because if you want to come to the St. Peter's pool, and I'll show you a little bit more, it's gonna be super hard if you don't have a car, because you need to take a bus to Mashallah and from there walk. Oh my, it's really hard work. You have a car, you know, very easy going. Streets are very narrow, but you can make it here. Parking, plenty of it, and it's good fun because this is a fantastic spot to discover. And this is it for this video. I will see you in the next one.